United Nations was not created in order to bring us to heaven, but to save us from hell. More than half a century after it was said by the second ever UN Secretary General, this famous quote is still used to describe the purpose of the UN, a reminder that it might not be perfect, but it's better than nothing. But the massive organization and its commissions, panels and councils is only as strong as its member states, and often domestic, diplomatic and geopolitical interests and agendas are present, sometimes leading to controversial makeups and decisions by the players. This week, Iran was removed from the UN's Commission on the Status of Women, which aims to promote gender equality and the empowerment of women around the world. The decision came after months-long protests concerning women's rights in the Islamic Republic have rocked the country.
The reason why is straightforward. The Commission is the premier UN body for promoting gender equality and empowering women. It cannot do its important work if it's being undermined from within.
Iran, 6 other states and the Palestinian Authority opposed the U.S. drafted resolution, which passed as 29 states supported it, 16 countries abstained.
The U.S. request is entirely illegal, as the Council members are fully aware that there is no precedent in the Council practice of terminating an elected member's participation in a functional commission for any alleged reason.
This is not the first time the UN has been criticized for something like this. The international body has been accused of blatant anti-Israel bias, with the U.S. withdrawing from the Human Rights Council in 2018, citing hypocrisy. In 2020, Russia and China, 2 countries with a dubious human rights record, were elected to the Council. In Russia, international rights organizations and independent media highlight issues including lack of freedom of expression, corruption, torture of prisoners, repression of dissent, and rights of minorities. Meanwhile, China is the world's leading executioner and is accused of cracking down hard on any political opposition, as well as sending hundreds of thousands of Uyghur Muslims into state re-education camps in Xinjiang province. And despite repeated firing of threatening missile tests, this summer North Korea took over as head of a top nuclear disarmament forum at the United Nations. As critics call for reforms, others insist that the UN is more necessary now than ever. The organization is currently the only forum where nations meet to discuss important issues involving climate and international peace and security. Hundreds of millions of people around the world depend on or benefit from the aid and development programs of the UN, which also provides vaccines, food, shelter, medicine, and other humanitarian assistance every year.